Hey, I'm going to do number 5 from the Unit 1 review here using LoggerPro. If you're looking at this video and you're like, oh, I wish you did it using graphical analysis, there's a separate video for you. Just go look at that other one. It's in the same place in Google Classroom. All right, so I went in and I typed in the data here, but there's a lot more stuff that we need to do with this graph before it's up to scratch and ready for prime time. So first thing is I got X and Y here. That's no good. I need the right stuff. So I'm going to just double click on that X there. The name of this column is temperature. And the short name, how about just T? The units, it's degrees Fahrenheit. You could type in like degree Fahrenheit or something like that. But there actually is, if you look in this little thingy here, there's a degree symbol. Look at that. Degree Fahrenheit. And done. Fix up the Y values. That is sales. I guess we could abbreviate that S. Units are gallons. All right, so temperature in degrees Fahrenheit, sales in gallons. I need a title on my graph because my teacher told me to put one there. So this would be sales versus temperature. You can abbreviate stuff, that's cool. All right, that's a good looking graph there. I think we're almost ready to snip that and put it into our Google Doc, but I need to get a line of best fit in here. So in LoggerPro, that is here. That's our linear fit. You can also get it from the curve fit option and then just pick linear. Either one of those works. You get the same thing here. Now, for the purposes of snipping this, if you're in LoggerPro, it's nice to make this bigger. I just right-clicked on this to get to linear fit options. That's option click if you have just a trackpad, mouse pad. And the appearance, instead of this being font 9, let's blow it up. How about, oh, let's go big, 18. Okay, yeah, look at that. Then I can move that around. I would like it not to be covering up the line or the data points. So there's that. Now, I just want to draw your attention to this. This plus or minus stuff in LoggerPro, that's just like an error measurement. You do not need to include that. You should not include that. This right here, 1.29, that is the slope. And negative 29.61, that is the y-intercept, not this plus or minus stuff. Okay? You don't have to worry about this correlation or RMSE, root mean square error. That's what that stands for. How about that? All right, linear fit here. It's telling me the equation, instead of saying y equals mx plus b, it did actually put the right letters in there. S equals slope times t plus b. All right, we are ready to snip this thing. You can go into your screen snipping tool. If you have a Chromebook, there's some combinations of shortcut where you hit, what is it? Like Control Shift and the little window key at the top. I've told you about it before, and you could always just do a real quick Google search on that, find the answer on the internet. So I'm going to do on a Windows machine the Windows key, Shift, and S all at the same time, and that didn't work. I pressed them in the wrong order. Let me try again. Windows key, Shift, and S, and there we go. I'm into my snipping tool. Sometimes it doesn't work because you don't quite get them in the right order. All right, there's my, look, it's been saved to the clipboard. So I'm going to go right into my Google Doc and paste graph. There it is. Looks great. It's got a title. The labels are correct. Got this nice equation. There's my line of best fit. Those are all the things I'll be looking for. And so part A, make the graph. There it is. Part B, I want to make the equation. Okay, so go to LoggerPro in my insert menu in Google Docs, not LoggerPro. I'm going to insert an equation. I have the font here blown up to 18 because it makes for a much better looking and reading equation. So what's my equation? Let's see, the y equals mx plus b, but y is really sales, which LoggerPro took care of for me. So you can just make an S there if you want. You could call it sales, like write the whole word out if you want. Either one of those is fine with me. It is not appropriate to put gallons here. You need to leave that off. The units go with the numbers, and the variable names stay without units like this. Okay, so what's my slope? Well, slopes rise over run. We're always going to write it as a fraction, but a divided out fraction here. So this is 1.290. I'm going to call this 1.3. 1.3. What should the units of rise be? Slope is rise over run. So the rise, that's the up down. So the units there in the up down direction are gallons. All right, on the bottom, I am always going to put the number 1 and then whatever units are on the horizontal axis. 1 degree. I'm just going to do degree here, Fahrenheit. Okay, that's the slope. So I have y equals m. Now I need my x variable, which is really T, temperature. Again, you can put a capital T there for temperature, or you can type out the whole, nothing wrong with using the whole word. Temperature, and then my intercept is negative. I'm going to say that's about 30 minus 30, and that intercept needs to have units. What would the units be of the y-intercept? Well, I look at my y-axis, that is gallons. That is a perfect looking equation right there. My y equals m, my slope with correct units, x, the right name of this, and then my y-intercept with correct units. We should have had plenty of practice doing that so far in Unit 1. Meaning of the slope. What does the slope mean? I'm going to read from the bottom up. For every increase of 1 degree Fahrenheit, the sales increase because it's positive. Here, this is always going to be, when we read the bottom, that's always going to be an increase of 1. But the top could be increase or decrease. Here it's going to be an increase, sales increase by 1.3. That's good for this guy to know. Yeah, if he's got a weather forecast and he's going to sell some soda at the Little League game, that's good information right there. What's the meaning of the y-intercept? In this particular case, the y-intercept is a little bit kooky. It is negative 30. So what does that mean? The y-intercept is how much of this sales we have when this is 0. So the y-intercept literally means when the temperature is 0 degrees Fahrenheit, the sales will be, this is according to the model, according to the mathematical model, according to our equation, the sales will be negative 30 gallons. Well, it can't do that. You can't sell negative 30 gallons. So that's literally what the slope means, and I would be fine if you just said that. But here, this probably deserves another layer of interpretation. Really, this suggests that no soda will be sold when the temperature is below, well, I guess when did the sales get down to 0? When the temperature was like 23 or something, is below let's say 25 degrees or so. But even that is kind of silly because right there, of course, when it's this cold, there won't be any games to sell at. So here, that there isn't really, the y-intercept doesn't make so much sense. The x-intercept kind of makes a little more sense, that you're going to stop selling stuff when it gets cold. But that's how we interpret that. So I won't give you one on the test that's as tricky to interpret as that. I'll give you one where it just hits the y-axis and it's like, hey, when this is 0, how much of this you got? All right, there you go. There's a video for LoggerPro doing number 5.